Have you ever wondered what games you should keep or you should lose? Find out here at Purge Reviews.
Dragon Valley is part of the Queen's Kids line, and it is a game that looks really, really cool. The components are there. I love the look of this game. What you're doing seems really fun, and it just didn't work for us. I mean, those wands, getting them to stay on the dragons is like near impossible. The idea of having this be two wandlets is just, I don't see how two kids can do this, or maybe our wands are defective or something, but it just doesn't stick. It's just plastic on wood or something, or wood on wood, and it just does not work at all. And they're constantly falling down. And it's like, even with two adults doing it's very hard and very difficult and falls down a lot of times. So the struggle here with the kids is that the components almost don't work with the game. The components are fantastic quality, don't get me wrong, but it's just so super hard. The kids get frustrated very easily. This is what I'm going to give to the kids and let them play. It's one I might think about getting rid of just because of the difficulty. Even for adults to play, this difficulty is really there. And I don't know that you're having a lot of fun with it. There are some ways to make it harder, which, I don't even know how that would work, because the components it just doesn't go together very well, and it makes it very difficult to play. Now, there's some ways to make it a little bit easier, which is just bring the box closer, but even that, it can just be impossible sometimes to even pick this thing up. So for me, I'm going to be weary of recommending this one. I like what the game is. I like what it gives you. It just doesn't work as well. If you find out that you can work better with those wands, maybe you'd like it better. But we didn't have a fighting chance. My 5-year-old had no fighting chance. I mean, when his card got pulled up, it was just a death sentence. We let him fall a few times, and it's just, there was no way to do it with these components or how they made the game or what you're doing. It didn't work. So for that, I'm going to have to put this on the Purge list. I'm going to let the kids maybe play around with it, but it's when I'm going to sneak out the door when nobody's looking. Absolute Purge, because it just didn't work for us. Here's Dragon Valley. You'll see a very dynamic artwork on the front. You also see that says Queen Kids. This is the Queen Kids series, which is usually pretty good. 2 to 4 players, 6+ 20 minutes, right on the box, like that, right on the front. You're going to have a rule book here. We'll take a look at that in just a couple minutes. You're going to have a board. Now you're going to be using the box to play the game. You're going to have a little magician track that'll be going up, nice, colorful. You're going to have these poles that you'll be using. Not the best things in the world. These, I don't know if they work too well. I don't know if they were supposed to have magnets on them or something, but they do not. You're going to have some cardboard that will make up on the board. I'll show you how that goes. You're going to have some dice, nice cardboard pieces, and you have to sticker all of this stuff yourself. And you're going to have these dragons inside this draw bag. And the dragons will have different shapes and colors. And once again, you're stickering these all yourselves. Luckily, my daughter's old enough to do this now and did a pretty darn good job, if I say so myself. Very bright, very colorful, no scary dragons in this one. Components are nice, big, chunky. The tiles are good. Everything seems like it's going to lock. I like using the box as part of the board. I like that quite a bit. So components, 2 thumbs up. Here are the rules. It's just a couple pages long. This is going to show you kind of how everything goes in. It has like a 3D look to it where you're putting the boxes in. It's just really helpful when you're doing it for the first time. Over here, you're going to have your component list, and this is going to be the colors of the tiles that you put out. Very, very helpful to mix those up. It's a little bit of a practice and a setup up here, then what the dice rolls are. You'll see in a lot of kids' games. Here's what the dice mean. And on the back of it, you have the end of the game, and you have a couple variants back here. This is for really young kids. You can put it a little more accurate with the older kids, and then a variant or expansion, if you will, that comes with it that makes the game a lot harder. So this is what the game box will look like set up. This will be using the game box. You kind of put the board here. Most of the game will actually not be placed here. This is just where you'll be wanting to put the little dragons. After you grab them, you'll put them down inside there. And there's a variant to make the game harder where you have to stick them in between these, so these things will be around you, and you have to either go through them or over them. But that's a variant to make it harder. Otherwise, this is where you'll just be placing them as you play. We play because the game is so hard that you can lay them down or they'd fall in there. But standing up is probably the preferred method. When you set the game up, depending on the number of players that you'll have, people will get some of these. So let's say you had the red, the orange, and the purple in front of you, that whenever these are drawn from the bag, then you will participate in the game while the other players wait. So that's what these are going to do for you. Here's the track you're going to have with the magician be coming down. This is where they'll be playing the majority of the game at. If the magician ever gets to the bottom and on top of here, then you guys lose. If you don't save all 6 of the dragons before then, that's how he'll be moving. And when you roll the dice, there'll be a place on here for him, and he will move 1 space if this is moved, and then you roll the dice again. If the sun is rolled, then he would simply move back a space. Now, if you ever drop the dragons, you will roll this dice, which either will move him a number of spaces or move him to the next hat on the board and make a pretty sizable jump. But I must say, he does move pretty quickly in this game. There's also a part, you see the ones with the dragons, I'll show you how you play that in a second. That's the majority of the game. But there is one of these with a dragon with a fireball on it, where you'll be utilizing this piece also. I'll show you how that works. But the majority of the time, most of the spots are the dragon. What you'll do is you'll draw a dragon from the bag. Let's say you got the purple one. You will put him on top of this tower. And what you will be attempting to do is get him inside of this box. Now, the two players that have the purple tile in front of them will participate this round. And what they're going to do is they're going to take these two, hopefully one from each side, and try to pick this up and drop it in the box. Now, preferably you want to get it standing up, but we play it if you can get it anywhere. Now, they recommend that you put the box 2 wands away from this right here, but I just want to illustrate how it plays out. Now, if you draw the dragon with the rock beside of it, you will also add this rock beside it, and now you're trying to dwindle both of these, which is really, really difficult to do. I must add, this game is extremely difficult to play. So that's all you're trying to do. You're trying to get all 6 of these dragons inside here. There's a variant where you can put this, you have to put them all in the center. There's a variant where the box can be closer. And the last variant is these cards for older players, where you might have to use 2 hands, or you can't put your finger on it, or you have to hold it like this, or you have to do it with your eyes closed, or you have to do it with your non-dominant hand, or one eye has to be closed. And these just kind of make the game more difficult, although I don't think the game needs these at all. But that's how you play the game. Who should buy this game? You're going to be parents of kids who really want a dexterity game, who maybe really like dragons. That could be a big pull for this. There's a bad wizard in this that you're trying to defeat. Otherwise, it's a really fun dexterity game. I don't feel like the components work in this one. I feel like it really let me down. Even though they're great quality, it just didn't work. And I'll show you that in the flow of the game. But for me, I'm going to say you might want to try this one out before you buy it. This probably isn't going to be an instant buy for us. We are actually going to purge this one. Thanks for watching the video. I really appreciate you tuning in. If you liked it, please like it and hit that little subscribe button. That really helps out the channel. Lets us know that you're getting the videos that you want. If you agreed or disagree with what I said, feel free to comment below. I'd love to hear what you have to say, and I promise that I will comment back. Thanks for watching, and everybody else, keep playing games.